right, you guys, now we're going on to what's called the layering light with the part A, 50-50 parts. I already have it laid out, and I'm just going to give it a good mix here. It just kind of spreads. It's a little bit thinner than the part A itself, but we're going to give it a good mix here. And this is what's going to go over, you know, all of her open spots. And I'm going to try basically just to work in that general area is just the open spots. But of course, it's going to go over some of the spots that's already painted. But we're going to try, you know, it's not going to cover anything or make it ruined or anything. But we're just going to make sure that we basically focus on her peeling areas. All right. And then I've got the makeup sponge right here. I'm just going to wipe some of this off onto here. Why, you know, waste it. I like to save all the paint I can. So now we're just going to get some on the sponge and just start doing the layering color. Basically, like I said, in her general areas that are, you know, where she's peeling. That's the most important. So everywhere where she's peeling, that's where I want to add this color so that she's not peeling anymore. And this is just a layering color. So just remember that. That's, you know, a very light color, and it's just the layering. But we're going to go ahead and make sure we cover her with this. And you might not see it like too much because it's just the layering color. It's a very light color. We're still going to be doing the blush tones and everything in there. So that's what will give her that, you know, beautiful red color or whatever of her. So, and I want to fix any of these mottling I did that didn't look right. And get my tweezers here because I see a little piece right here I need to get off of her. Okay. And just go over the spots, like I said, that I'm going to be repainting on her. So, and hoping that we get all of this good with her, you know, just to make her fresh and new and nice again. I'm going to pick off a little piece I see on her finger here and in between her fingers. Okay. And it's just the start, you guys. I know you're saying, well, it's not even covering yet. We haven't got to the blush tone yet, so. But that's what that's all about, is just doing a nice layering color first. Because that's the first color, you know, to doing these. Actually, sometimes they go in different steps. Sometimes they do the blush tone first and then the flesh tone. But I want to do a couple of layers of it since she had peeled. I want to do a couple layers. So what I'm going to do is work on, you know, doing the layering color first, then do the flat or the blushing, then go back to the layering. That's how I want to do. So she has a few layers of it, so it does cover up these spots really nice that were peeled away. So that's why I'm doing it this way. Again, an artist does things a little bit, you know, they learn and do things, you know, what they learn, but also they have their own techniques, you know, that they want to do it, you know, how they want to paint it. This is how I'm going to do it. You know, just, I believe that that first step would have been the blush, but I want to do the layering color first and then go on. And I don't really have to do her body. She's already good on her body, but I'm just, you know, doing a little bit here and there just to kind of freshen her up a little bit. Go around the back of the ear here because this ear really got messed up. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll tilt her a little bit. This ear really got bad, so we need to make sure we get that going good, that ear, because that one really got bad on her. She really chipped a lot, or I keep saying the word chipping, but chipping, peeling, whatever, right? So make sure I see a little piece I want to get off of her. Another little piece right here on the ear. Sometimes these pieces are so small, they're really hard to get off of the baby. And sometimes they're not even a piece of dirt, they just look like it. So, but yeah, we're going to start with this layering color. Then we will go on to the flesh tone color. I mean the blush tone, I'm sorry. So I am kind of going around to her face as well. I'm not going to do much to her face. She does have some peeling, and that's why I'm just focusing on that right now, is the peeling part on her face. Other than that, she is pretty much okay on her face. Like, this whole baby isn't being done like Abel, you know, where we're doing the complete baby. We're not doing that. We're just fixing her peeling. All right. So I'm going to finish her up, put her away, and cure her for 2 hours, and I'll be back with the next step. Okay, guys, now we're on to the next layering color. And I chose to go with the lip color one first because it seems to be a little bit better than the blushing. I still am going to use the blushing, but I'm doing it with this, and I actually have to work with the brush in those areas to really get them covered. So I'm working with the lip one, and I'll put it on the screen there, and the part A, 50-50 again, the mix. And it's right here. It's not the blush tone, it's the lip color. And I already did her other ear. I'm going to tilt her head a little bit and show you. But look at how much better that ear looks now. Now, there is going to be some discoloration, you know, because there was paint missing. So now she's got kind of spots, kind of like an Abel, where he was made not very good. He's got those lines and stuff. So some of the areas are going to be like that. But once she's painted and all sealed and all that, it's going to look good. But you can kind of just, you know, go like this and go across it to fix it or whatever. But it's actually doing better than when I was using a sponge. So let me draw in closer to show you. If you can see that ear better now, it looks more like this ear, but I also had to make this other ear. Let's see if I can get that in the frame. I had to make it that same color too. I had to do the same color. So I'll show you over here again, this ear. And I will be doing more layers. It's not the end layer. So we're just going to show that. And then on here, I've done a piece here and I've done a piece here. So now it colored in where she didn't have the paint. And I'm going to show you that. All right, so I'm going to get the brush right here. Dip into the paint, and I'll show you an area. See this area right here where she's not painted? Now watch when you go across. And of course I did this kind of dark, so don't worry, I'm gonna bring this down because I actually went a little bit too dark with this. So I'm gonna get the sponge and sponge that real quick. See, that's what's awesome about these paints, you know? You can just use a sponge and fix it immediately. But there are gonna be areas of her skin that I'm noticing because paint was around it where it was peeling. And so it's going to take and get a little darker in that area, but that's okay. You know, it's still going to be much better than the way her skin was before. So now I'll just get a little bit on the brush and show you how you're truly supposed to do it, because that was too much paint. It was just, I had wiped it off. So I'm going to get a little bit there. And then again, go into that area very lightly, go into that area and just paint it, you know, and going inside where it was, but also around the outside of it to make it blend better. If you know what I mean, it'll help it to blend. So then it's starting, and of course this is only the second layer, but you see it is actually covering, which is really awesome. So we'll keep going and we'll do another one. So here's another spot on her. And again, if it gets too dark, all you got to do is use the sponge and sponge it. And we'll do the same thing over here, just kind of give it a sponge. And then you can go over it again if you get too much paint. You know what I mean? Again, these are layering colors, so they're going to layer up to the color to match and everything. There just might be a little bit of flaws due to where the paint was peeling. You know, you just got to, you're going to have to deal with that. Otherwise, you're going to just have a chipped baby and a peeled baby, I mean, and it doesn't look good. Let me tell you, it does not look good when they're chipped like that. So then I just go like that, and then I just use the sponge and just go over it just to make it more smooth like that. You know, some areas like on the ears, I didn't have to use that, but there you see it's getting darker than, for instance, like her elbow there. See how the elbow is much, see how these are colored in much more now than that area there. So I'll show you again. Grab a little bit of paint and we'll paint this area again. Those areas that had chipped. And I just love that she's not going to chip anymore. Thank God I was able to do this, because she would have just continued to chip and it would have been bad. Bad, you guys. She would have been a baby that would have had no color to her. So we're going to do a little bit of thicker layer there and then use the sponge just to lightly tap. You just want to lightly tap because you don't want to pick it all the way up. But again, it's going to take layers and layers to do this, you know. Maybe 4 or 5 layers of the colors going back and forth from the 3 colors, from this color, the blush color, to the what's it called, the gosh, I'm thinking the layering color. So you're going to need to go back and forth with that. So I'm just going to keep working on it and fixing these areas and get her all fixed up. You need to be fixed up, little girl. Let me get the little tweezers. Where are my tweezers? Right here. I see a little piece I need to pick up. Always have your tweezers ready, because that's what happens when you're, you know, doing these babies. Little pieces get all over because they are a very sticky baby right now. These paints are very, very, very sticky. So you want to be able to, you know, clean it up quick. And what's happening is as I paint her, it's just picking some of her chipped areas up. That's what's happening. So it's just picking it up. But you see it is darkening it in, which is awesome. So after I do so many layers, she's going to be absolutely gorgeous. I just can't wait for all of her to be painted. I'm just so excited about this. So I'm going to continue to go on with this and paint this one on versus, like I said, versus doing it with the sponge, because the sponge was just, you know, picking it up so quickly. And if I do it this way and then sponge, it actually just, you know, when I do it light, then it doesn't do it. But when it gets into the sponge, you almost have to go thicker with it, you know, then you have to. And here's where I need the tweezers, because I can see that there's some spots now from her peeling that I need to get off. I do have a paper towel here that I just wipe off the tweezers, but you got to pick up these pieces because you do not want that to be in there like that. And then I'm just going to, hopefully you're seeing all of this. I don't know because I keep sitting down, so I'm not sure if you guys are getting this in here, but you see it's coloring her in, and that's what I love. It's going to hide those spots. Eventually everything is going to blend so nicely, and I'm very happy that this is working out, because let me tell you, I was very nervous that this baby wasn't going to be able to be fixed. Would have had to be completely stripped, is what I'm saying. That's what I was thinking was going to happen to her. And I'm just like, no, I don't want that to happen. I don't want her to be stripped. I love the color she is, and I don't want to ruin this beautiful color that she is. So I do not want her stripped. You know, I did not want the color to have to be stripped. I just wanted to be able to fix the areas and hope that everything would work out. And it is. You know, you just got to have, you know, a little bit time consuming, because you have to take the stuff off from, you know, as you're painting, you know, the pieces under it are wanting to lift. So, but all right, guys, I guess, you know, I'll show you a little bit more, but I just don't want to make the video too long. You get the idea of what I'm doing. I'm going to go into all her areas like that, and I'm going to start off by brushing it like this. Then I'm going to take the little tweezers, pick up any little pieces of the peeling that she had, and then I'm going to go ahead and use the sponge and bring it down a little bit, and then go on and keep doing that. That's what I'm going to do. But that's going to be this one. This is just another layer, okay? All right, I'll see you guys back here in just a moment. All right, on to the next layering color with Octavia. I've done a little bit of it just to try it out, and then I'm going to show you guys. So now I am on the natural blush tone, the F237 with the part A 50/50. I just wrote it on the screen there, and I put it on a little palette here, and I'm using a makeup sponge. So I've got it right here, and that's the natural blush. That's her next color I'm going with around the areas that we're peeling. So I've gotten some done here already, and I've gotten some done down the arm. And you see slowly but surely it is covering those spots. Let me draw in a little bit for you guys so you can see it a little better. But you can see that it is starting to fill as I go along. So as the layers go, she is getting those peeling parts covered. So I'll show you. I've done on the elbow there, and now I'm going to go down the hand there so you can see, because that's where, you know, it's chipped there. So we're going to dip in, get some of the flesh tone here, and we're going to just go along. Just sponge it on and, you know, give it color so it fills in there. And keep your tweezers close in case there's anything that you need to pick off, you know, while you're doing it. So we're just doing that, and then I'm going to use the little tweezers. Again, because she's peeling, some of the spots are going to get a little bit darker because of the raisedness of the peeling, you know. But it's not bad at all. So I'm glad that these are working. And again, she's going to have quite a few layers. The next one after this will be the layering color, which is a skin tone. I'm going to do that, and then we're going to start over again, you know, and just keep going until she is covered. All of that that's on her was already on her, the way the lady painted her. She's got so much definition to her. I just love that on this baby. So when you see that, that's not a mistake there. That's how the lady did it. And that's what gives this baby character. So we'll just go around this little area there and just keep going into the areas that are peeled. I am starting with the back of her because that's where I could get to most of the peeling better, because she had most of it in the back. And then, of course, I'll be flipping her over and doing all these steps all over again, how I'm doing it here. I will show you some of that, but, you know, basically it'll be the same steps that I'm doing it this way in that order. So, yeah. But you see, as I'm doing it, she is getting that covered a little bit. And then, of course, on her hand here, she is peeling on the hand. So I'm going to do a little bit on the hand there. And I want to leave some light because it gives it character. So you don't want it, you know, every hand wouldn't be all one color. You'd have some light and some dark, but I'm not going to go too far over only because I don't want it to stick to the bag, you know. So where it's wet and then it'll just peel right off. So I got to just do her hand the way that it's going to be until I flip her over. But you see that it is covering. You see that it's covering as we go along. And some areas get a little bit more flesh tone. That's beautiful. That's what gives it character and makes it look more real. So we'll go down this little pinky since the pinky sits the other way. We'll go down this just a tad on this one in the corner here and down her little pinky just to give it a little bit more color. Again, I'm not going to do too much. I want to leave some light colors because if you look at a hand, especially if we're squeezing and clenching it, it's lighter, you know, and she has a clenched fist. So you want to have that character there where it emphasizes the fact that she would be cutting off some of the blood circulation there when she's fisted like that, you know. So, all right, so we'll set it down there. And then I'm going to work more over here. And then I'll show you a little bit on the foot here. Let's see if we can lift her up just a little bit more so you see the foot. Okay. And now you see on the bottom of her foot, that's where we were working yesterday. It still has that chipping. So now we're going to do it again with this flesh tone. Go over another layer with the flesh tone. The other one I used the lip color because I thought that that was really great. And I'm going to just pick off some of this little stuff here that I see right away. Just get rid of it. And that's just little pieces that get on the sponge. That's from her peeling and stuff like that. So yeah, you just want to just go over that area now with another layering color. And just wherever it, you know, you got a little paint, just go ahead and touch up with the sponge into those creases. She already had paint in those creases, but, you know, you'll get a little bit more as you're doing it. So just go around and get the area where she got chipped. I hope you guys are seeing that. I hope it's in the camera there. And then she's got some chipping right there. So that's where we would have done some coloration there too already. So now we're going to go with this color. I want to look and see, is she on? Yeah, she's in the film. And just make sure you just keep going around. And as you layer up, like I said, it's going to change this baby. It's going to change her, you know, parts that were peeled. It will bring her back to a nice color. And like, I love this coloration, how it's changing. How you got some spots that are more flesh tone, some spots that are lighter. And that's what you want. That, like I said, that's what makes a person look real. If somebody was all one color, you'd be a Barbie, right? You'd be a doll. You would not be, you know, a human. You would be a doll then. And that's not what we want with these babies. We want them to look real. So let me see here. Do I have something there? Let me get the tweezers. And take that off. Some of the spots that don't come off aren't going to come off, but I just go over it a few times just to see if I'm missing it. But that, again, is going to add character to this baby, you know. So it's all right with me because she's got all those beautiful, you know, coloration to her from all the mottling she had done. It's just beautiful. So we'll get that done there. A layer of that. She's going to get, I don't know, I'm going to say probably about 7 layers total by the end because you really want to cover those spots, you know. So is that something on her foot? No. Okay. So we'll do that. I'm going to just twist it a little bit here and get in here. Put the tweezers down. And like that peeling, like I said, that kind of stands out a little bit. I was wondering how I could maybe fix that, but the only thing I could think of is maybe a little acetone and, you know, just go around it so it would smooth it down a little bit more. but I think we're going to be okay. You know, you're just going to have, I mean, obviously it was way more, you know, flawed before. So, all right. So I'm going to keep going with that. You guys get an idea what I'm doing there. It's just the second layer. I'm going to finish up with her. Let me draw away here. Whoops, I'm getting too close. Draw away here. I'm going to finish up. There's a little bit more down this hand and down this leg and on the foot. And then I'm going to put her away to dry. And then we'll go on to, let me get it like that. Then we'll go on to the, I would think it's the third or fourth layering color. Just another color. And that one is going to be the layering. All right, I'll be back.